Well, hello, I'm Jason and welcome to Journey to Spartathlon. It's week 10. It's been a few weeks since the last video. It has been Christmas and New Year's and just the final week of work for last year. So things got a little bit busy, but the training still continued, so things are still on track. So we've got a bit of catching up to do with respect to the plans that that I was doing over the last couple of weeks, as well as how they went. So week 7 was fairly straightforward. The strength training sort of got put on hold a bit as well in between 10-week sessions, if you like. That's about to start up again in January 3rd, so we'll be back into the strength sessions. But from a running point of view, we're also starting in on some of the pace work. There was a 400 metre, 10 by 400 metres component there. You'll also notice that some of the kilometres on the Thursday and Friday are starting to get a little bit longer as well. And also you'll know that Sunday runs are 30 plus kilometres. So did the Sunday run on the Saturday, so that's just over 30k. I was looking to do 2k, but part of the track did go into some heavy shrubs. And I'm not going to go down there because there's snakes. So I went a bit of the other way, but looks like I fell short about a k and a half. So happy overall. That'll be my drink. Need to go and back and have a look. And so I did it just under 3 hours, so pretty happy with that. Just need to go back because I did try some of the baby food again. 2 satchels this time, worked really well. Didn't come back up at me at all, and went down really well actually. Just need to look at the calories exerted within this run and the calories that I took in before the run and during the run. I'm pretty sure I'm running at a huge deficit, so probably explains a little bit fatigued at the end. Finished strong though, pretty happy. But the legs are going to be a bit sore from that bit of aching. So I just want to have a look at what the calorie intake was, just see what the deficit was. I know that during the full big runs, I'm always going to be running at a deficit, but I've just got to make sure that I'm getting as close to possible as what my body will permit to me to digest. So because it's going to get harder and harder. So let's see how we go. So week 8 also saw an extension of those pace sessions as well on the Tuesday, and a brisk run on the Thursday as well. The Friday was meant to be a half marathon race, but seeing everything still being cancelled, it was just a run on my own at 21k, which was pretty good. I was pretty happy with the time on that one. Into week 9, again with the 10 by 2 minute uphills. So we have that track up just up the road, which I spent some time at to get that done. So that was good. And as I say, the Thursdays and Fridays are getting up into the 13Ks in preparation and going into a short run on the Saturday, but a longer run on the Sunday. Most of the sessions, because of just having been busy, most of the pain cave sessions or the strength sessions were pretty much rest days. So feeling very rested, which is good. Enjoying the time off during the Christmas period, back at work next week. So week 10, again we start off with on a Tuesday with some sessions, but these ones are 3 by 2.5k. Fairly brisk run there, get a fairly fast pace going for those. Again with a fast 5k as well. Noticing then that on the Friday another 15k. The Sunday run looks to be a half marathon at a 1:37 time. Again, that's probably 10 minutes underneath my PB. I'm hoping that I'll get close to my PB. I'm not going to get close to 1:37. If I can get a 1:45 or something like that, I will actually be very happy with that. So we'll see how we go. So with the runs during those couple of weeks, I've been doing a lot of listening to podcasts. So got a few learnings out of the podcasts that I've just thrown up on the screen for you. Both with respect to nutrition as well as running, more with the nutrition and the hydration components, just around setting yourself up for success. There was some talk about overhydrating, etc., and taking on too much water before races and during races. But one of the things that they were talking about was ensuring that start your electrolyte intake and your water intake prior to the race. It doesn't have to be a huge amount, it's just making sure that you're starting to take on board those salts etc. prior to the race, as well as for the longer races, so the 24-hour races, to start eating straight away. Don't wait. It is indicated that your stomach is much better at processing food in the first part of the race than it would be in the last part. So one of the things I'm looking at is the types of foods that I'll be eating through the race. So I've started my nutrition plan, and one of the bits of advice is to say, look, you should eat real food. This is not any type of territory to sit there and stick on gels, etc. Although some can. That's great. I can't do it. As I say, after I get for 4 hours and having about 4 or 5 gels, not going to happen after that. So one of the things I'm looking at, and to say from the 24-hour races, the first 12 hours, what foods can I eat that are real foods to prep me while the stomach's still in a happy state, and then what do I need to do for that final 24 hours. So as I mentioned in the last videos, I've been doing a bit of taking on board the baby food, which is still going really well and very tasty as well, which is really good. Having a lot of success there, but also, as I said, in the long runs, is just working out what that deficit is. I mean, I'm pretty much exhausting about 800 odd calories per hour in a run, but those satchels really are only about 110 calories probably at best. So to eat 8 of them per hour, that's probably going to be a big ask. So that's where the other real foods come in, with the other calories there. But I'll know I'll never be able to take on board 800 calories per hour and sort of maintain any type of pace or happy stomach state, if you like. So we'll see how that all goes. But the baby foods are going quite well. As I've also got my protein bars, the protein shakes, etc. as well that I'm consuming during part of those. And I've also entered the race. So that's a big milestone to actually enter the race. Now there's the significant amount of commitment. There's 14 weeks to go, but the registration has been done. So there's no getting out of it now. I don't think there is, but that's good. It's a good step. Happy that I've done it, and looking forward to the prep. I like reading all the literature that comes out with it, seeing what the rules are, etc., and just sort of getting prepared for the race. So from what I understand, there's also people who've already been training down there. Saw it on a few of the Facebook groups that I'm a member of, so that's interesting, good value. So I'll have to get down there to the racetrack to give it a go myself, just to see what it's going to be like, so that I've got some familiarity with it. Wildlife report, there's been no change, which is great. It hasn't been hugely hot here at the moment. We've had a bit of a cold snap, if you like, so the wildlife has been quite sleepy. So, which is good. No snakes still, which is really good. The body metrics pretty much have stayed on par. I think there's been a bit of Christmas eating, so I don't think the weight's changed that much. It's pretty much saying probably just under 82 kilos, and the body fat is just over 21%, I think. So maintaining it there. So another 14 weeks to go. We're going to get into some big kilometres going in the second half of the program. So that extra 3.8 kilo, I think it is, will take care of itself quite quickly. So week 10, getting back into it, is obviously going to be some running. We've got some 2.5 kilometre, 3x2.5k at a fast pace, with a 3-minute recovery session between each. So it's about 11k session on that one. Again, another 5k with a sort of 23-minute cap. My PB for 5k at the moment is 22.5, so we're getting back down to the PB times again, which is good. I think I'm expecting to get to my PBs, or be able to surpass my PBs probably in the next month. It's not something I have as a goal. I'm hoping it just happens as a byproduct of all the training, but I'm making sure I concentrate on getting those longer kilometres in, and getting the legs used to those type of distances. But yeah, it'd be nice to get some PBs. I think it was back in 2016 or 17 I set those PBs, so it'd be nice. It's going back 5 years ago now. But and again, there's on the Sunday is that marathon, half marathon distance at a 1:37. So quite an aggressive goal.
I don't think we'll get close to it. So I'm on 45. I'd be really happy with that, because that is under my PB, and I just said I'd probably do it in the next month, but we'll see what we can do. Get the adrenaline going. So motivation-wise, everything's good. I'm looking forward to the runs that I'm doing in the plan. There was before Christmas, I think there was a little bit of not so much motivation, if you like. So good to have a friend to push you about, organise a run so that you're obligated to turn up. So I've been doing that, but have been enjoying the runs. There have been 1 or 2 runs where I've actually gone out there, I always will set the Garmin to go, but had the run and just didn't look at it. So knew that this was just a steady run, just a casual one, and at the end of it came back with actually some quite good times, which is quite good. So looking at ways to enjoy the runs, some podcasts, as I say, and I'll put some podcasts that I've been listening to in the About section as well around the nutrition and hydration. They've been very interesting. A lot of PhDs coming out to have a chat and tell you what they know. It is interesting because they do all say at the end of it that everyone's an individual, so everyone either sweats differently, dehydrates differently, hydrates differently, and reacts to different foods. So when they are asked the question, is there a silver bullet in all this sort of stuff, and they just say, look, there is none, but they do provide you with the foundations that then you can go and what they call as an experiment of one, which I think is quite a cool expression, in that once you understand the fundamentals, then you've got to go off and try it your own to see what works, what doesn't, and how you react to things. So it is a thing where everyone is different. So no one set formula is going to work with everyone. So that's the trouble of it's been a little bit ambiguous there. But say it's something they'll give you the tools to enable you to narrow it down to what works for you, which is good. So look out for this week's training song, Play It Loud. This is one of my favourites. So on we go. It's start of week 10 and 14 weeks to go. I'll catch you around. Bye.